3 of the day. As always, thanks again, everyone, for hanging out. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for being a part of this community. And thanks for being amazing. We're going to start that prediction. How many Falstad Qs by end of game? Falstad is going to go hammering. He's going to be going Gathering Storm. So we're going to say how many of these Gathering Storm stacks by end of game. You got 2 minutes to get your prediction in. 100 or more or 99 or less. On the left-hand side, we have 2 heroes, 1 fountain, Loot Panda on the Diva, Northern Touch on the Anubrak, Storm on the Hanzo, US Maps on the Falstad, and dropping BB on the Rhaegar. Over on the right-hand side, we have Rez, we've got, or the La Resistance, we got Mr. Bros on the Orphea, Azuriel on the May, Dark Knight on the Vala, Lidonis, I think is how you say it, Leodonis on the Leoric, and Lord Bacon on the Anduin. I was afraid that I was going to miss some information, but it looks like we have a bajillion pings to go forward from one team. We are here in Division A East. Division A East. Do I have that right? That seems wrong. It is Division A East. Okay, I have it right. Anyways, moving into our engagements, we are going to be seeing a little bit of a rotation into bottom lane to quickly catch this wave. Got the Orphea over here as well. We don't see a ton of Orphea, so I'm excited to see how the play works out for her as this matchup will continue or at least start to pop off between either side. Diva, Leoric in top lane. Should be an easier time for Leoric. He should be able to really kind of press into that Diva with his Drain Hope, so long as he doesn't just take a lot of free damage, because Diva does have the full metal, so you gain the increased health, and the fusion cannons heal for 16% of the damage dealt to enemies in the bonus area. Get out there and get in a fight. Have some fun. What is this playing well? What? Ooh, small prediction for this one. Small prediction. Ah, quick match mentality. Got you, got you. Took me a second. Took me a second to understand what you meant. I see. Yes, yes. Go roll face really quickly. Go just smash your face into the enemy team. Alrighty, US Maps just to get some clear through the bottom lane. This is going to be Anduin getting the camp for mid lane. Dark Knight and the rest are going to do their best just to clear out the Hogger camp, the null pack through this mid lane. And as we've talked about in CCL with Grubby and stuff like that, I can even make the point myself here, is it is going to be a little more beneficial to be the second team to grab the null pack, since you can clear in front of your front gate and then start to siege up through the mid lane. Vala did go fire at will at level 1, so picking up a few of those stacks. She does scale in her W stacks, her multi-shot, the same way Falstad scales in his level 1 Q quest with the Gathering Storm. Once you hit the 30 mark for Falstad, you get the extra 15%. When you hit the 20 mark for Vala, you get an additional 40 damage. So Vala is going to be able to really scale that up. Falstad flies into the flank position, and actually, I thought he was going to get really hard punished by the enemy with the icing from May, maybe a Chastise from Anduin. Let me look really quickly. Oh, May was actually on ability cooldown. Anduin was not. So let's just blame the Anduin player and go over to our boss, or our objective phase, as we do have a little bit of a just immediate... Actually, no, it's going to be the real boss, the real objective phase of the game. So far, going to be grabbed immediately by 2 heroes, 1 fountain. Anubrak trying to do the sneaky Anubrak thing, as he is going to be going Beetle build for now, summoning those beetles to be able to steal away the objective on his own. Summoning the beetles will distract those jailers, and he can get the channel time for this first camp. First camp, as always, on Alterac Pass is a 30-second timer. Second one is 40, and third one onward is 50 seconds. Also, respectively, for each of those, they increase the jailers until this third. So first spawns 2 jailers to defend. The second one spawns 3 jailers to defend, and the third onward spawns 4 jailers to defend. Little things right there, little tidbits if you are interested. Dear Lord. 2 sips of a beverage, and I completely forget how to talk. Loot Panda drops the Mecha Explosion. The channel is still good to the side of our blue team here, of 2 heroes, 1 fountain. Storm on this Hanzo is going to get the agility over the wall, almost gets body blocked to eternity, as this will be 9.1 seconds stalled out for the side of 2 heroes, 1 fountain. First blood goes over to the side of La Resistance. That was a very, very well played Orphea, just combo. Nicely played from the side of Low Resistance as they are able to go and move over to this objective. Mr. Bros channeling said objective on the Orphea. Leoric pushing up the mid lane. Null Pack does reduce armor of structures as well. Northern Touch burrows in. Doesn't look like they're going to be able to make anything else happen here. And Leoric Wraith walks back and out of the engagement. Falstad looking to Hearth in top, 50% or so on the HP, and a little bit less than that on the mana pool. Objective phase channel is looking good to the side of Love Resistance. Snowblind from Mei stalls things out for a second. There's a Blizzard as well to do the same. Mei she goes down to try and grab this. Orphea almost gets the big burst onto US maps. D.Va loses her mech, being chased by Mr. Bros. Leoric will go down, or Vala finds the kill actually onto the D.Va pilot. Mr. Bros gets the leap of faith. 1.6 seconds of channel time left on this objective. But since there was a couple deaths, we are going to be seeing a little bit of a kind of stall for a few seconds here. Leoric is able to cheat death and get back into this. Falstad flies back in. And this is Leoric trying to apply a little bit of Spectral Leech, but I don't know if he actually managed to get it right there, as the objective being defended well by our red team. Can the enemy step up? Can two heroes, one fountain be able to step back in and get that last few seconds of channel time? Or is it going to be La Resistance stepping in as well? A little bit of slows onto the Falstad. No paralyzing rage from level 4 for Leoric. He does have the Neil Peasant, so it's going to be a little bit more wave clear availability since it's to mercenaries and monsters. Allows that mid lane to be cleared out, allows camp to be grabbed, and then also helps clear out objective phases as well. Mr. Bros getting reset after reset on this Orphea Shadow Waltz, but is going to be way too far forward and does get punished for all of that advancement attempted. D.Va Pilot is going to be, D.Va Mech is going to be dropped. D.Va Pilot trying to back away. Chastised from Anduin, not connecting. Dark Knight so very low. Falstad barrel rolls forward and finds the auto. Now US Maps, actually, the US Maps is fine because the hammering comes through. It's a quadra kill in total to the side of two heroes, one fountain, and they'll get that last 9.1 seconds of channel on this first objective phase of Alterac Pass, and our third best of 3 of the evening. Fantastic plays from both sides. A wonderful series thus far.
As if the Horde could ever stop us. Mount up.
So, Stormy McStorm faces, cavalry will be supplied to the side of two heroes, one fountain. We also see 10 Talonteers already popping up for our blue team, so let's go ahead and cycle through the other numbers. As we can see, the 10 Talents at the top of the screen. Biggest thing to note, got a Bunny Hop for the D.Va. Been seeing more Bunny Hop as of lately, less Micro Missiles, which is actually kind of cool just to see, as I was mentioning in the last best of 3, a little bit of a variety when it comes to all of our heroics picked up by both sides. Orphea Eternal Feast, Avalanche from the Mei, we have the Strafe from Val and Tomb, and the Light Bomb. So pretty standard across the board. I do want to note Hanzo going into the Dragon Strike to be able to have a little bit more zoning value. I think this is a fantastic map for Zoning Strike. For Dragon Strike, I think the Dragon's Arrow, it does have some really good AoE stun chain combos that can be paired into the Anub'arak and even to the D.Va bunny hopping, but all in all, really liking the Hanzo talent at level 10. I actually took this in a game earlier this past week. Big Entomb into Lewd Panda. Can the Leoric actually find the kill before the Entomb ends? The Spectral Leech, 180 HP as D.Va's able to back away. Man, what a fun game so far. I hope you're all enjoying this as well. This has been a very, very fun map number 1 in this best of 3 series. 6-3 in kills, 11-11 in levels, and this is just going to be camps to be grabbed on either side for the mid lane, and we now will have more pressure to be added into said mid lane. Leoric doing his best to clear things out. Hanzo has the explosive arrow from level 4, helps clear things out from a little bit of a distance. Also, 1 stack away from finishing out the simple geometry, and 54 stacks on the Falstad already. Man, this Falstad is just chunking when it comes into the stack building. 57 now as the Hanzo finishes the simple geometry in the mid lane. No major fight to be had here, just a little bit of poke between both sides. D.Va comes in, bunny hop. This is actually what they really need. Great bunny hop onto the back line. That's going to be Azerial trying to get away. Does manage to get... Was that the... Yeah, she has the battery backup. I was like, or backup battery. I was like, man, she just got randomly a bunch of HP. That doesn't make any sense. and it's healing over time as well. Big shout out from the D.Va. Cleanse will be there. Lewd Panda getting very low, and the Strafe is gonna find the kill. 6-4 in kills, 13 apiece in a second here for both sides. A Storm gets chunked by the Vala multi-shot, 34 stacks on that one. Man, oh man, is this just a great, really good just back and forth. Like, I actually really like the team fighting between both these teams. I cannot get over it. It feels very, like, balanced between the two teams. Some of the NGS games can definitely feel like it's a little one-sided when we cast these, but this one feels like there's some really good back and forth between these teams, and we'll see how the entire series does unfold. But right now, map number 1, I'm having a blast with all of this, and I hope you all are as well. 13s, 6-4. And no major structures down just yet. Some damage on the structures as Leoric is pushing up the top lane. Camp on the right-hand side is going to be up in about a second. Camp on the left-hand side does come up as well. No packs available for either side. Ando and Vala to grab the right, as this will be Mei, Anub'arak, and mid lane soaking out for their respective teams. Skimming through some of the talents just to see if there's anything of note. Got the pilot mode, the good to go for the D.Va, so a little bit more maneuverability, and also control with the concussive blast. Anub'arak with the burning lads, the burning beetles, so just more beetles as, I don't know. Liking the beetle build for this map quite a bit. Northern Touch summons a few of those beetles. Hanzo trying to go for the channel. Ofria has one stall with the Dread. Beetles for days, indeed. Hanzo just poking out a little bit as well. Just gonna see, no scatter arrow right there. Curious what Hanzo goes at level 16. Maybe piercing. Let's see, Giant Slayer. Giant Slayer could find some value as well. I feel like it's going to be piercing or Giant Slayer for this Hanzo. Probably piercing for just more scatter availability in some of these corridors. I love beetle build at Anub'arak. I have so much fun with it. I prefer Shed Exoskeleton at level 4 for just the movement speed, so you can burrow in, and if things get a little awkward, you've got the W to get yourself that mount speed without having to be mounted. Get a little zoomy going on right there. That's going to be burrow charge forward. They're trying to make a play into the backline after the cocoon onto the Mei, but it doesn't work out. Hanzo rips a massive arrow. Mei has to pop the cryo freeze to stay alive. D.Va mech explosion. Lewd Panda is going to get shredded before the D.Va can even get back into their mech. Leoric has to Wraith Walk away. And this is looking, actually, Falstad chasing in, throws a hammering out, mostly just to clear a wave. 65 stacks on the Falstad for now. It's me. I'm the exoskeleton shedder. I love that talent so much. It might be a little bit of a band-aid by comparison to the utility of Bed of Barbs, but I think it's just good. It's good utility. I think level 4 is quite the variety, actually, for Anub'arak players. I think you can go into any of the talents right there. The Burrow talent, the Impale talent, or even the Hardened Carapace talent. Yeah, I'm right there with you, Vrog. I actually have not played that much Anub'arak lately. I should play more of him. I played him, like, consistently for a few weeks in our Storm League games, and then I just went back to playing Murden, because Murden just, oh man, Murden just feels so good to play lately on any map. So it seems like the members of 2 Heroes, 1 Fountain will give over this objective, grabbing their own null pack, but it seems like it's taking them a little too long here. Northern Touch has to burrow away. 16 talent here for the time being over to our red team, and actually looks like there was a little bit of a miscommunication. Someone did not stall out the jailers, so 1.3 seconds do remain. Orphea gets hit with a cocoon coming right out of that, gets leapt away by the Ando and D.Va. Bunny hopping in the backline. And Rhaegar gonna chase in. He does have an Ancestor Heal available. That's a huge avalanche to force back the enemies, and a little anti-synergistic with the Eternal Feast. Ancestor Healing goes on to the Falstad instead of the D.Va. Light Bomb comes out as well. Oh no, D.Va, she's gonna go down. The channel should be had by Mr. Bros, but oh my god, Falstad with the massive hammering, able to chunk into the Vala and the Mei. Another big hammering. US Maps is cleaning up the fight. One more hammering should solidify the kill into Leoric. Might not even be necessary. Hanzo able to snipe that away. 80 stacks on this Falstad as he is doing work for the team. Leoric cheating death. Quadra kill to the members of 2 Heroes, 1 Fountain. And speaking of fountains, this mid lane fountain should fall once the fort does as well. Lord Bacon, you may be delicious, but you cannot clear out waves fast enough. Falstad looking to grab the channel on the objective phase while the rest of the team will grab a boss. Now, death timer's quite low. Falstad can't manage this all on his own. Leoric will respawn right next to Falstad. Falstad goes for the Gust to delay things out, but it's not going to be enough. Anduin should have the channel. Falstad's able to barrel roll through the Entomb. No available mana for Falstad, but quickly to check, Flight is up and available, so he will be able to join back into the engagement. But so will the side of La Resistance. Leoric, no Entomb for 30. Sitting in the bush, gets the Spectral Leech onto Northern Touch. Falstad flying back in. Keep in mind the wave through top. In bottom lane, boss is still crashing through the fort. Fight breaks out, though, as we have a barrel roll forward from Falstad. Leap of Faith from Anduin. Massive Dragon Strike from the Hanzo. Zones out the enemies as we're checking out some APM and seeing what these players are mashing their keys, or how fast they're mashing their keys with our very, very accurate stat. What's the boss in bottom lane looking like right now? Gonna get the keep front gate potentially here. One tower already down. D.Va boosting in, has the bunny hop. Hanzo, heroic, up in 28. Cocoon from the Nubrak up in 26. A little bit of a dance back and forth. While this is happening, I mean, this is all beneficial to the side of 2 Heroes, 1 Fountain, because waves are crashing through bottom, boss is pushing up, and while the boss gets the keep front gate, there still is a massive wave in this bottom lane that can push out. Reaver minions will be spawning periodically every 3rd wave in the bottom lane and mid lane as well, so it's good pressure to be applied. Those Reaver minions tank a lot of damage as they do have 50 armor. You can actually see it here really quickly. Physical armor is at 50. Oh, yeah, it's just 50 physical armor. But anyways, that's going to be a D.Va bunny hop. Gust out from Falstad. Splits a little bit of the engagement. We have this kind of back and forth. Leoric is showing in the bottom lane, so that has been the green light for the members of this 2 Heroes, 1 Fountain. Avalanche onto the Mecha Explosion, but Orphea falls. Lord Bacon is at 100 and something HP. Hanzo rips an arrow. Falstad flies in. He's going to go for it. He's got the barrel roll. He's got the hammering. Another kill over to the side of 2 Heroes, 1 Fountain. Cavalry will be coming in through these 3 lanes. Top lane already pushed up quite a bit. Mid lane just cleared out, but bottom lane extremely pushed out. Bottom lane keep should fall. Maybe they rotate to mid and go for a secondary keep. That's looking like that's going to be the case. Absolutely. D.Va already pushing out the mid lane to get the minions coming through. Falstad, excuse me. Hanzo, Anubrak, and Rhaegar will push up the mid lane. Keep front gate. A little bit of scatter here and there. Falstad at 106 stacks right now. D.Va boosting out as well. Cavalry arrives through mid. This should be the keep to fall, but will they be able to advance further? Actually, I called that a little early. Loot Panda will lose their mech. Does have the emergency shielding, which buys a few seconds. D.Va also has that torpedo dash. Gonna go for some big shots. Cocoon onto the Vala. Hanzo gets another arrow, and that zones out a few of the enemies as this keep is getting very low. No cavalry through mid anymore. Not enough beetles to take this down. Still, though, the keep sitting around 4 or 5% HP. That is huge. I wonder... Okay, are they setting up for boss? D.Va wants to push up mid. D.Va wants to push up mid and take out this keep, but I don't think she can on her own. Boss in top lane should be off of cooldown. Boss in bottom lane still is a minute 30. So this is probably going to be a quick boss through top. Falstad could grab the camp over here on the left-hand side. D.Va's feigning that they want to try and go for this mid lane keep, buying a little bit of time for the positioning of 2 Heroes, 1 Fountain. Alrighty, we have our Ice Golems. Ice Golems, I think is the name of them. It's just boss. It's just boss on this map, apparently. No flavor text. Oh, it's the Jungle Grave Golem Defender. There you go. Jungle Grave Golem Defender. Oh, see, there's D.Va once again. She's just going for mid lane keep. And the reason being is that, one, you have the consistent Reavers in the lane, but you also have the core shielding reduced by 20%. So magic and physical defense is reduced, and D.Va's going to be able to boost out through the bottom lane. Meanwhile, boss and top lane will be grabbed. It is looking very, very good to the side of 2 Heroes, 1 Fountain throughout this map number 1. Okay, Rhaegar gonna hearth back for full, but he's probably gonna be going for the siege camp, so just trying to cut the distance back there. Actually, no one's really going back with him, so is he gonna be soloing this? Or is he just rushing back towards the friends? I think it's gonna be rush back to top lane. Okay. So I guess it was just topping off mana. I didn't see actually how much he had at the time being, so maybe just want a small top off onto that one. Objective phase is up in about 30 seconds. Mei sitting in the bush over here. We have the Rhaegar vision. He does not see Mei over here. No one has. She's going to avalanche. She's going to get a big ol' avalanche right into the keep. Oh, she just got scouted. There's the danger pings and immediately icing in. Avalanche, a little misangled right there. Pops the cryo freeze. Spell armor reduced by the Falstad level 7 hammering. D.Va bunny hopping around. She did not go for the upgrade at level 20. Has the armor for the 75 spell armor dealt to D.Va's. Mech is returned as healing for 4 seconds. Channel onto the objective from the side of 2 heroes, 1 fountain. Aziriel getting low, has to back away. Entomb coming out from the from the Leoric with the Buried Alive and Sister Healing onto the D.Va. Does not connect, actually. Puts it on a 10-second cooldown, so you can see on the top left of our screen. Do have the Farseer's Blessing from level 20 as Hanzo has to agility over the wall. Farseer's Blessing's available. That's going to be D.Va Pilot going down. The objective still being channeled. Do they go for the Farseers? No, they're going to save the Ancestor Healing, and the objective is going to be stalled out at about 50% right there. Nubrak, a little bit of an impale thrown back into the enemy team's face. Orphea going for the channel. 50 seconds, 50 seconds of channel time necessary. D.Va is going to be spawning just around when this is done. Do they go for the 4v5, or do they eat the objective on the side of 2 heroes, 1 fountain? Gonna go for a boss. All right. Consolation prize. Leoric has to clear things out as bottom and mid have double Reaver waves coming in. And you can see right here how much they can tank. Core isn't going to be falling right here, but still does take a bit of damage. Now, this is a unique map, of course, and it has a unique map factor in that the core will regain health if not taking damage for, I believe, like 1 to 2 seconds when it taps the center point. It's like a second or half a second, but either way, Drekthar will be able to regain HP, and this is a massive rotation through the bottom lane. Actually, they see this happening on the side of La Resistance. The objective phase may be here for our red team, but is this a boss to push to core? No. Okay. So I think this is just setting up the map and just allowing the members of 2 heroes, 1 fountain to clear out the objective without taking any sort of major damage of their own. Yeah. Mid lane gets cleared out before it even really gets into mid lane per se. Do have that boss being cleared out through bottom. Core, as I mentioned, is going to be regaining its HP. Does it show actually how much Drekthar regains per second? I'm just curious. Does not show the regeneration stat. I was just curious right now. I like how Drekthar does have a damage versus structure stat. That's a little interesting. Bottom lane, actually, I thought these were going to be completely cleared out, but mid lane's the only one that's massively cleared out. Bottom lane's still sitting around 75% HP. And this will be the top lane cleared out as this fort is already kind of opened up. Bottom lane, I think, still has fort. It does not have fort front gate. Top lane fort will fall, so a little bit of matched Reaver pressure through this lane. Falstad gets another hammering out. 138 stacks on the Falstad hammering as this top lane is going to be cleared out. Bottom lane, decent wave here. The Reaver's on the... I believe the Reaver's actually on the cavalry, but this does find the bottom lane fort, so a lot more value than I was anticipating. Really quickly, 3 minutes on bottom boss, almost a minute on the top lane boss. So we do have some pressure to be applied. We actually... No, I don't think they're going to wait around for a whole minute. They need to make sure that they constantly clear out these waves, and that'll be the case here over on the right-hand side as 2 heroes, 1 fountain will have some constant pressure through mid and bottom. Top lane to be matched out, as I mentioned beforehand. Siege camp is up and available for the mid lane. Things are getting tense here, ladies and gentlemen. Things are definitely getting tense in this late game, as it's not completely over to the side of our red team, but the big thing I want to note is that death timers are very long, and typically teams have to take 2 keeps to end a game, though if the death timers are long enough and you wipe the enemy, you could rush through top, take down keep, and go core. We'll have to see if that'll be the case. 15 seconds on boss for top. Let's see what the vision is. Let's see what the vision is for the blue team. Hello, vision? Can I get my vision set up? Wait, what the heck? There we go. So I don't think they've seen anyone. Oh, Nubrak has definitely seen the Mei. Leoric steps out of the bush. So there is kind of the idea. They're selling the idea that they're on boss, and they actually are on boss. They're going to leash it for a second or two, just jumping between these two visions very quickly to see what these two teams are seeing. Storm on the Hanzo. Doesn't see much with his scatter arrow. Steps into the bush, sees Leorc. He goes for a little bit of a, not spectral swing. All right, wait, is this spectral swing? Skeletal swing. God dang, I don't know what it is with Leorc, but I constantly mix up his talents. So Hanzo checking, doing his best. Poke from the Mei, a little bit of slow from her as well. Prison locations will be opening up in the bottom lane. This is a boss play. That's the big question is this actually a boss play, or is it just going to be a little bit of a little dance back and forth? The longer this happens, the better it is for 2 heroes, 1 fountain, since the bottom and the mid will push up naturally with that constant Reaver minion pressure. More so mid than bottom, actually, because there is the fort down over here as well. So mid lane will push faster since there's no counter pressure applied. Boss being scouted by some scatter arrows. We do have another objective up and available. As I said, one good team fight feels like it could be either team's potential win here. Hanzo, he does have the Dragon Awakens from level 20. Throws out a Dragon Strike. Now watch this cooldown, because there is a lot of synergy with piercing arrows as well, since you get more bounces. You also have the level 1 simple geometry, so more arrows available as well. So already 37 seconds. We'll see if he can land a big scatter, and that'll give you a lot of cooldown reduction. Yep, okay, he's down to about 10 now, and I think it's 4 seconds per. It's really, really strong. As I mentioned, mid and bottom pushing in. These Reaver minions are here. The longer this is delayed, the better. Hanzo, another arrow, zones back the enemy. This seems like the Resistance wants to back away. Will D.Va and the rest of 2 heroes, 1 fountain allow this? The core is losing about 25% of his HP. Mei getting low, does get the Leap of Faith from Anduin. D.Va trying to chase a little bit. Hanzo pokes out as well. Eternal Feast, no, that was a Dread thrown out by the Orphea. Core falling to about 30%. Oh man, I don't know if Leorc and the rest of the team got back into this quick enough. There's the Reaver minion value. GG, well played. Little anticlimactic, but still, 2 heroes, 1 fountain will take map number 1 in our third best of 3 of the night. Choose outcome. How many Falstad Qs by end of game? 100 or more. The believers win. GG's. GG's. All right. What a game. That was seriously, that was a fun game. That was some good back and forth. Alrighty. Well, let's show some talents as well if you are curious. Delicious. All right, well, back to Bandit and I, and let's go ahead and get ready for our next map. Let's see. So score updated for the left-hand side, as they did win map number 1. Let's go ahead and get map 2 loaded on up here and see what happens. Ooh, we got a Kel'Thuzad. Let's see if we'll do a Kel'Thuzad prediction. Do a Kel'Thuzad prediction. All right. Does KTZ finish baseline blight by end? Yes. No. Okay, that is all set up. And I think we're ready to get into the next game. I'm seriously, I'm loving this series. So let's go ahead and immediately get into this. As I said, and as I always do, I'll start the prediction after we get into the game. So let's go ahead and jump into this, load up the game, and see what these teams have drafted and what they're going to be playing here for map number 2, Battlefield of Eternity. Could be a quick 2-0 for 2 heroes, 1 fountain. We'll see if the members of La Resistance can make something happen here. Is on the left-hand side, we got Loot Panda on the Blaze, Northern Touch on the Muradin, Storm on the Vala, US Maps on the Genji, and dropping on the Rhaegar. Over in the red, we are going to be seeing the members of La Resistance. We've got Azariel on the ETC, Mr. Bros on the Kael'Thuzad, Lord Bacon on the Stukov, Dark Knight on the Tassadar, and Leodonis on the Dahaka. Now, as a reminder, we are doing a Kael'Thuzad baseline quest prediction. Will Kael'Thuzad finish out his Master of the Cold Dark, or as I like to just call it, Blight, by the end of game? Will he finish his 30 stacks by end of game? Get your Twitch predictions in if you would like to take part. We got a minute 20 seconds to go. I apologize. I was looking at the bottom. I looked over at the minimap and I'm like, there's a lot of people in top lane. Dahaka goes down. If that sways any of your voting by any means, as this will be some counter siege through the bottom lane. Not a single gamble. I understand. I understand. You're very scared to vote against or for the Kael'Thuzad. It's very understandable. A bit of a base race through the bottom lane right now as Kael'Thuzad sits on 0 stacks a minute in. There you go. 690 to 10. Some safe betting happening here, huh? Some real safe betting happening this evening. Tassadar is going to be going into the Kaidirian Amulet, so this is going to be just after your beam has been fully charged for 80 seconds. It bounces and hits an additional target for 75 damage. That's one of the rewards. And then the second reward is after it's fully charged for 160 seconds, it bounces and hits 2 additional targets. Rhaegar to go down to the Nexus forces. That will be the Blaze to fall as well. Ooh-wee. 2 stacks on the Master of the Cold Dark, and we are just base racing between these 2 lanes. I can't believe that this is what we're seeing for map number 2 already. 1 to 2 in kills, and those 2 kills will be in favor of our red team as they will be able to get the bottom lane fort a minute and 36 seconds in. That has got to be an NGS speed run world record on Battlefield of Eternity for when it comes to a fort going down. Maybe some of these players on the red team are GDQ runners. Maybe that's what they're trying to do. They're just trying to showcase how quickly you can rush through forts. Definitely a possibility. So, Lord Bacon and the rest will grab a camp on the right-hand side. Immortal Phase has not been summoned or even really announced. This is a little bit early. They could look to hold this. I do like that Tassadar is just constantly building out beam. I mean, Tassadar is already at 83 seconds, 84 and more for the level 1 questing talent. That is a really quick burn through that first half of the reward. So he's got the bounce. He's got 1 bounce. This is going to be good for a lot of these team fights. We feel like I don't see a lot of auto attack based Tassadar just because he has to stand still for so long. But hey, I guess if people try and advance forward, you have the ETC zoning control. You've also got Kael'Thuzad with a bit of ability power as well. Did go into phylactery stacks at level 7 or level 4, but oh my god. Northern Touch is able to back away. ETC, does he have Crowd Surfer? Yes, he does. Crowd Surfer ETC able to get over the terrain and chase onto the Murden, almost threatening for the kill. Dahaka chasing in as well, as this game feels like a completely different team from our red side as they are just dominating throughout this first few minutes of Battlefield of Eternity. Tassadar once again building out this Kaidirian Amulet. Look at how quickly Tassadar is able to get this done. And maybe it's because I don't see this talent a ton, but holy crap is Tassadar just rushing through this. We do have a drag onto Murden. He's able to back away. When it comes to race potential, it is a little bit faster to the side of 2 heroes, 1 fountain. And I wonder, will our red team step in and try and slow things down? Absolutely, it's looking like that. Murden, Dwarf Toss over the wall. Mr. Bros looking for some chains to throw out. A little bit of the Death and Decay thrown out as well. But here's the thing. Slowly but surely, Storm on this Vala will be able... Wow, that was such a good face melt to dissuade the Jet Propulsion. Slowly but surely, the Vala will be able to poke this down with some hungering arrows here and there. Does have 4 stacks on the puncturing arrow right now. On the right-hand side, actually, I wasn't noting this. We do have the Tassadar, who's just autoing onto the objective. Throws out the Force Wall as US Maps and the Genji was applying some pressure to this Tassadar. Does get the healing pathogen from Stukov, a little bit of healing as well. Seems like we have some defensive pings as well from one of the teams onto the Immortal Phase. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that little thing right there. Chains out from the Kael'Thuzad. I think that might have just been onto the Genji. Gets a stack or 2. Dahaka back in the mix, and this is what I was talking about. Slow whittle from the side of 2 Years One Fountain, but power slide in from the ETC. Chains go out from the Gildazad. He lands a massive combo, and that's a lurking arm to shred through the Vala. That is not going to be a... that's a good kill on the Tassadar. There's not going to be any sort of low blow value, but here comes Gildazad with some more chains. No 15 stacks, so no availability for the Glacial Spike, but that's the 10th stack right there, and Genji locking him into place. Kel'Thuzad goes over to the right side to race, but Kel'Thuzad not the best at racing the Immortals right now. Does have some auto attack power. Did go into the Death and Decay build, so you have the just a little bit extra scaling on said Death and Decay. So Immortal Phase, man, really a highly contested Immortal Phase, 290 HP, but it does go over to the side of our blue team as Alarian will be spawning in the bottom lane, but here comes another fight breaking out around the Immortal. Hungering arrows bouncing around. Lord Bacon trying to back away, does spread the healing pathogen. Ulyss Maps not able to chase in any further. 3 seconds away. Tassadar has already finished Kydarian Amulet. 5 minutes and 53 seconds in. Dahaka has the Lurk Restraint. Can he get out of here? Will he be able? Nope. Meanwhile, in bottom lane, Tassadar just sitting there and tickling down the Immortal as it moves into melee range, losing that shielding. Hot dog, what a game. To see a little bit of control with that power slide, but has to just back away and play safe. Tassadar, man, I gotta say, they shredded through this Immortal on the side of our red team just to be able to save, I mean, not just, but to be able to save a lot of their fort front gate right there. Waiting to see what our 10 Talontiers will be, and while we wait for that, let's go ahead and cycle through the other numbers, get an idea of what those look like, as we have not had a chance to look at those in a little bit, or at least just yet in this game. Next Immortal Phase should be spawning soon, so until then, it's going to be grabbing some camps. The Immortals spawn in the north-south positioning. I believe this is actually the same positioning as our first Immortal Phase of the game. Same spawn spot, same positioning, if I'm not mistaken. And Dahaka clears out top 10 Talontiers, as I mentioned. We're just around the corner for our red team, and since they have this level and a half lead, I wonder if they try and invade, maybe onto... Oh no, the camp was already grabbed, my apologies. Maybe they just go for an invade. Mosh Pit, Shadow Fissure, Massive Shove, Archon Form, and we also will see the isolation from Dahaka. Speaking of, really quickly, does he have the Brush Stock? Yes, he does. Could look for a flank into the enemies, but now another fort could go down with the pressure through top lane. Front gate's already opened up. Keep in mind, Tassadar has that Kydarian Amulet, and he's already finished it out, so you'll see more bouncing from those auto attacks, and it should be able to prioritize heroes. Dahaka, Brush Stocks into bottom lane. Does he just go for the wave clear? Yeah, he's just going to be focusing on wave clear. Blaze pushes up the wave. I don't think Dahaka can win a 1v1, so I think it's mostly just wave clear. As the top lane fort takes around 50% damage. Quick Immortal rotation to the side of our red team, and now they sit in the defensive position. ETC power slide, no mosh pit to be dropped. Force wall from the Tassadar forces the Muradin to Dwarf Toss away. Kel'Thuzad, 12 stacks right now. I'm trying to catch both engagements right now. ETC power slide. That was a really good face melt into the Immortal Sun. Drops the mosh pit. Another stun on Davala. Shadow Fissure sends her flying. A little bit of ragdoll right there. Great Mosh Shadow Fissure combo. 2-minute cooldown, but hey, you took down the Vala. She's not going to be able to race. And you have your Archon Tassadar just doing his best. Now, Bunker from the Blaze does come out. ETC positioning on the far side to try and get the face melt. Jet Propulsion from Blaze gets him out of there, and Bunker to be cleared out immediately. Immortals go to defensive positioning sides. Oh, Genji gets caught by... That's a great drag, actually, from Dahaka as well. A little bit of a silence out as well from the lurking arm from Stukov. The isolation does not connect, and the Ancestral does. This should be, though, the Immortal going over to the side of our red team through the top lane. We know this because it is the more well-defended lane. Extremely well played thus far from the side of our red team. Man, this is a great game. This series this evening, this third series tonight, is just absolutely popping off. Really quickly, checking the Immortal as he does fly up into the top lane. Dealing 666 damage. Very good for a Larian right there, as he's into structure dealing 1,332. Tassadar, you can see that level 1 really paying off as he can hit the catapult, but also deal damage to the structure and to Avala on the far side, still staying out of range. Fort goes down, still siege in, 14 stacks on the Kel'Thuzad. He's 1 stack away from getting the Glacial Spike. Single target burst ability, a lot higher when you finish out that Glacial Spike. And still, man, a solid 2-level lead to the side of La Résistance. How much value can they find with a slightly shielded, very powerful Immortal 10 minutes into the game? Moving into melee range, Vala with some multi-shots poking out as well. Jet Propulsion from Blaze goes out. There's a chain out from Kel'Thuzad. Not sure if it connected onto anyone. No, it didn't, because there's no Glacial Spikes, and so there's only 14 out of 15, or 14 out of 30. This is the top lane keep to go down. Immortal just below 50%. Do they continue to push in? Oh, that's a good power slide onto the Blaze. He gets caught. Shadow Fissure, but a nice cleanse from Rhaegar allows Lude to get out of there. A little bit of a silence. Oh my god, that's a max range drag onto Genji. Goes for the bit of a deflect right there. Lord Bacon trying to back away. Seems like this is a full disengage. Tassadar pops the Archon. Massive shove from Stukov. And that is disengage. Keep going down, and massive siege to the side of La Résistance. Insanely well played. Insanely well played right now. Looking at, you know, the difference between these two, this first map and second map, it's like they really turned it on from the side of the red team, and they could possibly take the game here, but there's still a ways to go. Still, a mortal phase and some pushing, as well as a decent team fight, still will yield low death timers. I want to say our death timers are still sitting around the 30-ish second mark or so. Genji just checking bush really quickly. Northern Touch hanging out over here as well. Kel'Thuzad does manage to throw out the Death and Decay over the wall. Does give vision. ETC steps in. Tassadar with that level 1 quickly shreds through this lurking arm from the Stukov, so in case anyone does try and step in and steal. And no 13 still on the side of 2 Heroes, 1 Fountain. They're really going to just have to turtle up and wait for these, and they're doing a good job of that. Top lane, Blaze, should be able to get some experience. Bottom lane, the rest of the team to do the same. Here comes another Immortal phase on the east-west positioning. Race potential to the side, actually in the race potential sides, because blue vision is what we see on the map, and that means those axes are going to be setting that up. Force wall from Tassadar, so much thrown onto the Muradin, who gets the purge from the Rhaegar, but Rhaegar now going to get pulled in. That's a Shadow Fissure reset right there. Moshpit coming out from ETC. Another Shadow Fissure gets the reset. Double kill, make it a triple kill to the side of the red team. Now, do they go core? Do they go immortal? As I mentioned, less than 30-second death timers. And this is going to be Kel'Thuzad immediately rushing over to start racing.
Blue team's core is under attack.
Alrighty, well, Kel'Thuzad is just going to be soloing this. He somehow managed to stun himself randomly. Very interesting. Just a random accidental stun. So first half of the Immortal will go over to the side of the red team, but will they be able to take the other second half, since the death timers are already going to elapse for the members of 2 Heroes, 1 Fountain. Hearth out from the Dahaka, should have the Brushstock available if necessary. 8 seconds on the isolation as Brushstock will be used to jump in here. Dahaka gonna go for the split pressure onto the Genji, who does have to jump away, around 50% HP already. Rain of Vengeance out from the Vala. Moshpit down for 43 seconds. ETC just tanking damage. Avatar utilized by the Muradin. Blaze getting very low. Gonna be slowed. Tassadar, does he have a shock ray? The Jet Propulsion is going to be enough distance to be able to back away. ETC power slides in. No Mosh for 24. Ancestor Healing connects just in time. Force Wall actually a little misplay, but it doesn't matter. The Blaze still goes down. The Immortal being raced. Dahaka burrows for a second to avoid the spin knockback. Woo-wee! His race is not bad. That is true. That is true. He also did go for the upgrade at level 1. The Plague Lands increased Death and Decay's duration by 1 second. After gaining 30 Plague, increased the radius of Death and Decay by 30%. Well, he's only at 21 stacks. Accelerated Decay. Each time an enemy hero is hit by Death and Decay's pool, it takes 25% more periodic damage from Death and Decay for the next 4 seconds, stacking up to 4 times. Death and Decay is alright, absolutely, yeah. It's just one of those conversations like, but you could get like a Hanzo, or a Greymane, or a Raynor. Rain of Vengeance from Vala coming out as Storm is a little split from the team by the Dahaka. Drag, Isolation, Vala will go down on the top right of our screen. Chains going out from the Kel'Thuzad as he's building out massive stacks really quickly with some of these chains, some of these Frost Novas. Northern Touch backing away as the Immortal is dealing decent damage through the bottom lane. Belith gonna try and find the keep for this team, still with shielding attacking from range. ETC power slides in, no mosh pit for 78 seconds. Shadow Fissure and the Nova for the Kel'Thuzad as he's going to be doing as much as he possibly can. The core is going to start losing shielding and HP. Jet Propulsion in from the Blaze. He's trying to make some plays happen here. Kel'Thuzad finishes out his Blight right at the end as the core will fall. GG, well played over to the side of our red team. We're heading to a map number 3. Alrighty, well, not the biggest payout, but does Kel'Thuzad finish baseline by end of game? Yes, he did. GG's. Alright, one more map. One more map, ladies and gentlemen. We got one more map for all of you. Let's go ahead and bring it on back to Bandit and I, and let's get into map number 3 once we do update the scores. So the score on the right goes up. Teams are the same still, as in they did not swap sides. Okay. I'm just going to check one quick thing. We have a Kael'thas. I want to see if we get Convection. I want to see if we have Convection. I doubt. Mana Addict. Okay. All right. Either way, we'll do a Mana Addict. Talent sort of prediction. How many level 1 stacks for KT at end? We're going to Tomb, so let's say 40 or more, 39 or less. All right, we'll throw 2 minutes on that one. And as always, let's get into the game. Let's check out what our level 1s look like, as well as what the teams are as well. Gonna start that Twitch prediction. How many level 1 stacks for Kael'thas at the end? Kael'thas is gonna go Mana Addict, as we have on the left-hand side 2 heroes, 1 Fountain, Lewd Panda on the Deathwing, dropping on the Brightwing, Northern Touch on the Anub'arak, Storm on the Vala, and US Maps on the Dahaka. Over in the red, we have Resistance. We've got Aziriel on the ETC, Lord Bacon on the Stukov, Mr. Bros on the Ragnaros, Leonis on the Sonya, and Dark Knight to play the Kael'thas. All right, final prediction of the evening, ladies and gentlemen. Get your Twitch predictions in. Big gambles. Big gamble time. How many stacks for Kael'thas by end of game?
Go. Kill.
As we get into mid lane, we got everything loaded up and ready to go. Thank you all for being here, as always. Let's see what's going to happen. Little lava burst from the Deathwing. So Kael'thas should be able to build up a lot of Mana Addict stacks. That's the assumption. That is the assumption. So long as he's getting the regeneration globes from ETC, who's actually going to be able to steal away a couple extras right there. And Tomb of the Spider Queen. So big thing on this map is rotations from mid to bottom to be able to constantly soak things out. Iron Flare, thank you for the tier 1 for 19 months. I really do appreciate it. Thank you very much, and thank you for the awesome message. I hope your test went well, my friend. Ouch! Anub'arak goes down. That's first blood over to the side of Resistance. I hope your test this week went well, Iron. Thank you for the message. Oh, God. Let's see here. So Ragnaros grabs the camp on the right-hand side. Oh, man. No one is going to be a doubter. Not a single person trying to play those odds. It's a 1K on yes. Oh, man. Well, if it's 39 or less, the points go into the void. Shame. Shame, chat. Shame. Not a single doubter. Storm and dropping will grab this camp. And man, thank you for the resubscription. Thank you for the tier 1 for 2 months. Thank you, my friend. Thank you, and man. Glad you're enjoying the content, friend. So let's see here. So it's just constant rotations to build up some of these stacks for the Ragnaros, the ETC, and the Kael'thas. Vala building out the Fire at Will stacks. And we will be seeing... Ooh, that's interesting. Energy Roll. Reduce the mana cost of Gravity Lapse by 70 if Gravity Lapse hits a hero. Reduce its cooldown by 8 seconds. I feel like we don't really see that very often. It's usually Netherlands at level 4. US map's getting very low. Oh, Dahaka almost dies. Taps the well. Shifting Meteor. A little meatball over here. Gonna be at 26 out of 75 stacks. Hey, Jewish Cat, what's up, bud? How's your Thursday evening going? Sonya just spinning in bottom lane. She is going to be that slam build, so percent-based damage later on with the Giant Slammer will be big into the Deathwing, but I believe that's at level 16, so it's a little bit of a ways away. Playing on EU with a stack of Germans. Nice. Well, I hope you're having fun. I hope you're having fun with your friends. Sonya already got her turn in, but there's a massive collapse into this bottom lane. Polymorph will set things up. There's going to be a burrow from a Nubarak as well as the Impale. Sonya goes down, but Dahaka is going to get picked off in the top lane, so this is the big difference. There will be a trade in experience, but there is not a trade in gems dropped. Dahaka dropped quite a few gems in the top lane, which is big in favor for the side of La Resistance, and this is still a camp in mid to be cleared out. A little bit of a lurking arm from Stukov does have the reactive Ballista Spores. Funny enough, after Low Blow got nerfed, I'm seeing a lot more reactive Ballista Spores over Low Blow. I feel like it's kind of 50-50 in the games that we've been casting lately. It's a blast. I love your casting. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate the kind words. I very much enjoy doing casting for all of you. Typically, Wednesdays and Thursdays are casting day. Tuesdays, I play Heroes of Storm, and Friday is our variety day. This Saturday is Subathon. Next Saturday is viewer games. We're going to do viewer games. I'm going to try and have them be a little bit EU friendly on time. We are going to be a North American server, but I'm going to try and start a little bit earlier in the day. Also, that way I can go play trivia a little bit later at one of the local bars, but still. That is neither here nor there. We're gonna do some viewer games on February 26th. The 26th is when we're gonna do some viewer games. Deathwing is gonna try and turn in, but it's not gonna be happening just yet as there's constant interrupts. We only need 5 gems to be turned in for the side of the red team. Mr. Bros has 4 out of said 5. Lord Bacon has 1. Sonya, Dahaka still brawling out. Sonya's got enough for a turn. Actually, for anyone wondering, here you go. I can show you who's got what. ETC or Sonya need to turn in as well. Actually, Ragnaros just picked up a few more. So 3 members could go for the turn in here for this first Webweaver phase of the game. A little bit of an Impale from the Anubarak, Molten Flame from the Deathwing as he opens up the ground with that Lava Burst. TC mounting up, sitting in the bush, waiting for a good power slide moment onto Anubarak. Maybe even Brightwing doesn't manage to line anything up. What division is this? I just tuned in. I believe it should be in the stream title. It should be Division A. What's up, Lava? Alrighty, there you go. First Webweaver of the game, going to be over to the side of our red team. And how much push value can they find with this? That's always the question, and we're going to find out the answer to that very, very quickly here. Deathwing, a little bit of a Earth Shatter. You can't sleep, so I'm here. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that you can't sleep. I hope you're able to get some decent sleep tonight, my friend. But thanks for coming by. I'm glad I'm your insomniatic Twitch channel to watch. Thank you for hanging out. I hope you do get some good sleep, Lava. Thanks for joining us. So 10 talent tiers soon. Let's cycle through the other numbers, get an idea of what those look like. Multi-shot out from the Vala just to try and poke at the Webweaver phase through the mid. Dahaka's clearing out top. ETC goes in for the power slide, taking some tower shots. Phase shift from Brightwing. Connects in time, so Fierce Smash will be coming through, connecting onto 2. Brightwing goes down. Sonya leaps in, but Anubarak was mid-burrow charged, and he can't be stopped because he's unstoppable, said during said burrow charge. ETC finds the power slide. Mosh Pit is available. Not going to go for it. Northern touch very low. Stukov not even going for the last auto as the Ragnaros pops the Molten Core. Storm on the Vala trying to rush away. It is going to be damage onto Lewd Panda, losing another shield. No turn-in available just yet from the side of our red team, but ding dang did they find some decent value with that first objective phase, jumping ahead in experience almost by a whole level, and only using a couple heroics. Phoenix, Leap, and Sulfurous Smash. I really do like the Sulfurous Smash pickup here. I think Lava Wave is still a great talent, great option, good for pushing out the waves, but the difference is, and there's a couple issues. Lava Wave denies your team gems as well, since you clear out the wave, you don't pick up the gems that are, you know, cleared out from all the way over here. Lava, it's also a very small map, so rotations, wave clear shouldn't be a struggle, especially with a roster of Kael'thas, Sonya, and Ragnaros. Those three heroes wave clear exceptionally well. ETC does okay on his own, but here comes a second red web weaver phase, back-to-back weavers to the side of our red crew. And we'll see how much value they get. I also want to point out, Kael'thas, 24 stacks already on the Mana Addict as we're 8 minutes into map number 3. Our final map of the evening. A great series overall between these two teams in Division A East. I felt that so fierce from here. Wait, Iron, did you, how did you do in your test, bud? I know you studied, or was that test not this week? I'm curious because you had mentioned that you wanted to study for it on Tuesday, so I'm hoping you did well, bud. And if you didn't, well then I'll just go beat up your professor, basically. Lewd Panda throws out some Molten Flame. The Necrotic Wave from the Web Weaver is going to be damaging that Deathwing just a little bit. ETC power sliding up in the top lane. Bottom lane, Sonya, she's trying to find a fort down here. She's also trying to avoid slamming through the fort onto Dahaka, not trying to tank any tower shots. It comes Monday, but it's a big test. I wish you all the best, my friend. And as I said, if your professor doesn't give you a good grade, we'll go beat him up. Totsky and I will go beat him up. Also, to note really quickly, we do have the Shifting Meteor at level 1 almost done. Actually, it just finishes out right there. So now, Ragnaros can change the direction of the Meteor, but you also increase the duration. What is the actual baseline duration for this? I'm curious. Baseline is 2... Oh, so you increase it by 0.5 seconds. And it can be blah, 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 blah. Okay. Each time an enemy has a level, they take 6% increased damage from it. Okay. DC power slide onto a Nubrak. Sulfurous Smash coming through as well. Man, you didn't even hear the Sulfurous Smash. You just see the circle on the ground. You're like, oh, that Nubrak is squashed. Dahaka in bottom lane, 16 gems. Could turn in, which would be 40. Sonya's going to delay out as best as she can. Deathwing could go for the turn in as well. That would be more than enough for this Webweaver summon. Sonya delays things out for a few seconds. Top lane boss will be grabbed. Did anyone grab Harrison? Oh my god, y'all don't grab Harrison Jones. He's still sitting up here waiting. He's just sitting up here waiting for you to summon him. But boss in top lane, Webweavers in all three. Let's see what happens here as we go ahead and cycle through the other numbers once again and check out what those look like.
Red team, defend yourselves or perish.
Alrighty, so Webweaver through mid. Cleared out extremely quickly. I would expect it to be mid to bottom to top, since top is further back and it still loses health over time regardless if it's taking damage or not. Deathwing is trying to push out the wave, but yeah, this is going to be a Webweaver phase fairly moot to the side of 2 heroes, 1 fountain. And I want to check really quickly. I know we're in stats, but do they have enough for another turn in? 20, 34, 46 or so I think. I don't think they have enough for another turn-in. On the side of 2 heroes, 1 fountain. Though, they need to close the gap, or need to find a fight on the side of 2 heroes, 1 fountain, because there's half a level or more to go for this level 16 talent tier advantage, and this once again, an experience gap is being formed between these two teams, and it's looking good to the side of our red team. ETC finds an Anubrak getting shredded right now. No, Sulfurous Smash will be used just as the Brightwing comes through, and she's gonna blink away, but Shifting Meteor chases in. ETC gets the mosh pit interrupted by the Deathwing. Vala being chased, power slide from ETC, 66 gems on the side of our red team as a huge swing from the Ragnaros comes through. US Maps with 19 gems trying to back away goes down. Ragnaros loses the Molten Core, but it does set up the kill into the Dahaka. Stagger Deaths means a Webweaver summon to the side of the Resistance. And who has the last turn in? 16 gems are necessary, so it's going to need to be Dark Knight and Azerial to turn in here, or Lord Bacon and Azerial. Seems like they actually want to delay this out a little bit. They're gonna, on the side of La Resistance, go for a camp, which does give, actually they're gonna go for 2 camps, which gives time for the enemy to respawn. The unfortunate thing for the enemy, 2 heroes, 1 fountain, they do not have the 16 talent here. A 2-level lead has formed in between these 2 teams, about 15 to about 17. But here comes another Webweaver phase. Kael'thas, 38 stacks right now. Anub'arak just being smashed into pace over and over again. Oh, yes. That is some beetle paste on Tomb of the Spider Queen. But another Webweaver phase summoned and coming through. Nice use of Shifting Meteor to double back through the wave for faster wave clear, pushing out the waves so mid lane descends a little bit further. But unfortunately, 1 minion remains, so it does go back a little bit further into lane. But not bottom. Bottom lane will summon past the fort. Top lane summons just past the fort. And this is looking like a really good, just kind of slow collapse in favor of our red team. We do have that 16 talent tier advantage. Here is, that's actually the 40th stack for Kael'thas, so whomever's 1,000 points are out there, they are safe for now, as they will not be lost to the void that is Twitch. And mid lane keep goes down so very rapidly. Will they try and end here? Top lane keep is extremely low and goes down as well. Bottom lane already cleared out, but still Webweavers through top and mid. Cocoon is going to end right there. Is this enough to end the game for the side of La Resistance, or will 2 heroes, 1 fountain defend? Webweaver through top, still available, is the only one actually left here. Follow and the rest trying to poke out. ETC dealing some decent damage to the Deathwing, standing still with the Molten Flame. Anub'arak burrows out, misses the Ragnaros, but still gets the impale. But because of that delay, will kill the Anub'arak, and I believe it still put the level, the baseline, the Molten Core on a 10-second cooldown, just now coming off of cooldown, I guess. And this is going to be triple keep. Mosh Pit attempted by ETC, but he gets dragged by the Dahaka. ETC getting shredded, as no Molten Core will be used through bottom. I think this is a clean... Oh, actually, no, Molten Core will be used. Big swing. Doesn't connect onto anyone. Deathwing gets chunked a little bit. Molten Core immediately being shredded by the Vala. And I think that's enough to call a disengage through the bottom lane from the members of La Resistance. And I gotta say, this red team, after looking at map 1 in comparison, oh man, this red team is coming out with a fiery response. Map 2 was great, Battlefield of Eternity, but this map 3, holy crap, they do not want to lose this series. And we'll go ahead and pay out the people before I forget to do so. Kael'thas has 40 or more. It's not even the end of the game, but he's got 45, and there's no talent that he can take that reduces his level 1 stacks. Sulfurous Smash. Sonya goes in. I talked about level 16 Giant Slammer. She was chunking that Deathwing health pool, as that is going to be a drag landing onto the Sonya as well. Gravity Lapse onto Storm. Ragnaros chasing in, doubles back as the phase shift from Brightwing will come through, making sure that there's no kind of play from Vala Brightwing into Ragnaros. Now, turn-in does not exist to the side of La Resistance, so 2 heroes, 1 fountain. They have the turn-in, the waves are pushed in, but they should know that the enemy is on boss. ETC showing. Vala saying that they're going to go top lane. Let's swap vision really quickly. See what this red team is seeing. ETC pushes out the top lane. I would assume that they just go turn-in. They just go for the turn-in and try and get some map pressure off. Yeah. I like that call. ETC going to take out the sidewall, just opening things up for the map, as well as getting rid of some enemy vision. Red Webweavers, blue Webweavers will descend about 50% through mid lane. They're going to be further back in bottom near the fort. In top lane, all the way right by the keep. Here comes Big Bad Boss with 20 talent tier with the rest of his team. Heroic defense, or heroic difficulty, for the Ragnaros. I don't know if he actually has that off a cooldown. Can I check it really quickly? Do I have that ready to go? Either way, 2 seconds on the... Oh, I don't want to talk to the observers. 2 seconds on that, but Oh my god, the leap with the Art Crater from the Sonya sets up the kill into the Anub'arak. Molten Core from Ragnaros coming through. Dark Knight getting low, has to back away. Keep in mind that Conflagration from level 16 on the Deathwing, shredding through some of those health pools. But what also is being shredded is this core. Vala gets the multi-shot. Sonya goes down. Mosh pit from ETC interrupted. Deathwing is very low. Dahaka goes down. And Ragnaros loses the Molten Core, but this is going to be Lord Bacon, Dark Knight, and Mr. Bros on core. 600 HP on the Deathwing, not enough. And game number 3 goes over to the side of our red team. They close the series 2-1. GG. Well played.